What is up, YouTube? It is Mike here, Grinding Gears Garage. We are hopefully getting back into making videos. Hopefully I have 1 or 2 a week for you guys. I got married recently, about a month ago. Ryan had a son 2 months ago, so we've been busy the past couple months taking care of life pretty much. So today we have an easy video for you guys. We're going to be demonstrating on an LT motor, but this goes for about any dirt bike, four-wheeler, anything with a flywheel and a crank. We've been getting a lot of messages lately about people having problems shearing flywheel keys or just having problems in general with that area. So we're going to go over a quick video on how to lap your flywheel to your crank. The crank and the flywheel have tapered mating surfaces. What happens a lot of times, you put a new crank in, you change flywheels, stuff gets mixed up. The mating surfaces are no longer uniform. They're not equal. They're off by a little bit. So lapping the flywheel to the crank ensures that the mating surface is uniform, even, and then it locks itself in. A lot of times guys that run race motors, I have a couple friends that run go-karts, modified carts with two-stroke engines. They don't run keys at all. They lap the flywheel in and they actually set timing with a timing dial, and they set it up to custom for what they need. I did the same when I built my four-stroke go-kart engine. It ran fine with with no key. If you lap it in correctly and torque it properly, the flywheel should not move. So we're going to go over the tools needed, the lapping compound that we use, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to get everything set up and we're going to get started. So some of the tools you're going to need, we have our Tusk flywheel holder here. We're going to use that to hold the flywheel when we pull it. We use an impact to take the bolt off. Then we use a ratchet and a torque wrench to reinstall it. We have our valve grinding compound here. This is what you're going to use to grind the mating surface of the flywheel to the crank, lapping compound. You'll need a flywheel puller to actually pull the flywheel off of the shaft. Then we just have some other tools here to take our stator cover off and pull the stator off of the engine. So we're going to get the tripod set up here and start taking our engine apart. So we're just going to take our 8mm here, pop off our stator cover. The size is going to vary per make and model, obviously. If you guys like the stator cover for our LT, we had these custom made. We have about 8 or 9 of them left. We'll probably have more made if they sell. But this one's polished. We have a couple others that are raw. If you'd like to know any information about them, please send us a message. Then this comes off 17mm. We had this apart already. But you'll use your impact to take that off, and then use your flywheel puller to pull the flywheel. Threads are counterclockwise, so that'll thread in, and then these are clockwise, so you use that, pull the flywheel off the shaft. Ooh. So now that that's off, we'll set this aside. We'll need this obviously to lap everything in. And then grab Phillips screwdriver to pull your stator off. We had this all apart already. So quick disassembly for us. Just pull this off to the side. Now we lapped this flywheel in already. The video got corrupted, so we're doing it again. As you can see, this area here is all nice and like a matte finish. And this back here is nice and shiny. So you can see we lapped this in already. We're going to do it again just for video's sake. But we have this is a new Hot Rods crank sitting here. You can see there's no finish difference between the tapered spot of the crank and the straight part here. It all looks the same, but as you can see on here, there's a color difference when we lap the flywheel in. Now, one thing to note as you're lapping it in, if you see any shiny spots, where there are a few here, which not that big of a deal, we're going to do this again. You'll notice those will be low spots that you'll have to lap in again, because the high spots will get knocked down while lapping. If they're still shiny, there are low spots. So you have to keep lapping that in until the low spots are taken care of. And your flywheel will show the same sort of matte finish when you're done lapping. So we're going to get everything set up and just show you guys how we lap the flywheel to the crank. So we have our valve grinding compound here. You can find this just about at any auto parts store. It's fairly easy to find, not that expensive either, and a little bit goes a long way. So you're just going to apply a few dabs around the crank. You want to make sure you clean your crank off very well before and after doing this, so you don't get any extra gunk in there before you lap it, and then you want to remove the valve lapping compound afterwards. So the biggest trick is grab a screwdriver and you're going to hold down on your balancer here. If you don't have a balancer, find another way to hold the crank still so when you're lapping in it doesn't move. If you're doing it when you're rebuilding, you can always hold the crank on the opposite side if you have the valve cover off. There's different ways to do it. So I just hold down here on this, and when you lap in, you always want to rotate in one direction. So we're going to do this for a couple minutes, and then we'll show you guys what the finished result looks like. So we're all finished here. We're going to pull our flywheel off, set that aside till we clean it, grab some of our brake clean to clean the shaft off with. You're going to want to make sure you take all this valve grinding compound off. You want to make sure you don't get it anywhere. It's pretty nasty stuff, and you definitely want to make sure it's gone before you reinstall the flywheel. So we're just going to clean everything out real good. You can see it's got that nice matte finish still. No real high spots. There's a few, but we'll clean that up nicely. And then once you're also done, you make sure you want to clean out all the lapping compound from outside of the flywheel. So that's pretty much it. Not much to it. Reinstall per manufacturer's specs for torque, and you should be good. Once you get this mating surface nice and even to the flywheel, you shouldn't have any more problems breaking keyways. It should stay intact as long as you torque it down to the proper spec. You should be good. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, this is Mike, Grinding Gears Garage. Please check out our Facebook page, which will be in the section below with a link to it. Like this video, subscribe to our channel. We're getting back into it, so hopefully we'll have a video or two every week. We definitely have plenty of projects to tackle in our garage. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will talk to you later.